Hey guys, it's Krista. I'm going to do a short little flow. It's something that I do sometimes when my back is feeling a little fatigued or my hips are tight. I do this trigger point therapy where I use just 2 tennis balls. That's all you need for this. So I'm going to show you different ways where you can really kind of lubricate the back, okay? And so you're just going to be, sometimes it feels like, it kind of hurts a little bit. But, so I'll show you ways to make it less intense and more intense. But basically what we're doing is we're kind of putting pressure on the 2 balls and keeping it there for a couple really long breaths, okay? And then we'll eventually reposition them, okay? So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start on our back. And I'm gonna take the balls and I'm gonna lift my hips up and I'm gonna put them right by my sacrum, so right by that back plate. And so right there, I should feel that tension in my sacrum area. A lot of people get that tightness from their piriformis muscle, and it sort of tightens everything up. So this is kind of like, almost like a deep tissue massage, okay? Now, for me, I can go a little deeper with this stretch. So maybe you wanna pick your legs up into tabletop, or you can just kind of cross them, it doesn't really matter. So I want you to just close your eyes and take a deep breath. And then as you exhale, just kind of allow your body to sink into those tennis balls. Now, for this version, I'm only gonna do this for a few breaths, so you're not seeing me lay on the ball the whole time. Obviously, you can do this longer, all right, as long as you need. After a few breaths here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring my feet down. I'm gonna take my balls laterally, more outward, to get more into my glute and my hip. And once again, you'll just feel it like a different sensation there, right? If you wanna maybe like rock a little bit, I'm just gonna hang here. This feels really great on your hips. And like I said, if the pressure is too much, we're just gonna bring our feet back down, okay? So kind of hold it there. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in, deep breath out, releasing your glutes into the ball. Just feel like a complete heaviness, almost like someone's got their hands on your shins and knees and are pushing you sort of directly down into the ball. One more breath. Coming down, I'm gonna take my left tennis ball out and I'm just gonna roll slightly onto my cheek right there. So I'm feeling a lot of pressure in my right glute and hip. And if that feels too much, just come off of it. You can always adjust. Feel that nice tension there. Keep breathing. Exhaling everything out. And be mindful that when you exhale, you're kind of releasing your body into that tennis ball. Okay? And so we're kind of getting right into that piriformis muscle that when it gets tight, you feel a little sciatic pain. So this is kind of getting in there. And that should feel pretty good. Some people think it feels horrible. I happen to love it. Now, if you want to get more of the IT band, that's that fascia that runs from your knee all the way down to your hip. You can come to the side. Like I said, I would be doing this a lot longer. I did this the other day. So I'm gonna pick the ball up, and you can do this on like a foam roller, and you can kind of hold there, and that feels pressure right there, okay? So you can kind of hold it for a few breaths, and you can kind of move into that, back and forth, and hold there. So that's a nice stretch. Kind of loosen up that fascia. Not that you can really, fascia is not like muscle, it's like a tendon. So it kind of really penetrates that tissue there. And then if you want, you can come down deeper onto the hip if you want, and you can do a full roll, bringing your back foot back and just kind of rolling into that, finding that trigger point. And usually when you feel that, that's kind of like the trigger point feeling. It shouldn't be painful, but you should definitely feel like a deepening stretch. And I'm feeling it right in my hip, which tends to be tight. Sometimes I like to pick my leg up. That's kind of like an, oh, 2 more, 1 more, and release. Now, the other area I love to stretch are my hip flexors. They get really tight, I ride when I spin. So the way we're gonna do that, we're gonna come over onto our belly, and I'm gonna place the balls right like an inch under my hip bone, right there. You gotta find that spot. And then just sort of relax your head. I like to keep my head down. Once again, deepening your breath. As you exhale, release your hips into the tennis balls. Just let it go. I actually find the stretch to be amazing. You can put your head down, side, it doesn't matter. Just kind of keep pressing your hip bones, not your hip bones, but your hips, because we're not on our hip bones. We're like, I'm about an inch under my hip bone. Now, if you want to intensify this, like I said, I'm just giving you different versions of how you can do this. You can bend your leg, and you can press, and you can see the ball right under my hip flexor, and I'm pressing, and I'm maybe lifting my knee to get a deeper stretch, and that feels so good. So not only stretching the hip flexor, I am stretching my quad. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Release that leg down. I'm going to turn the other way, and I'm going to bend my opposite knee, and I'm going to draw my hip flexor into the tennis ball. Feel that. Breathe in and breathe out. One more time. And then center. And then bring your hands right here. Rest your head on your hands. And now lift your legs and sort of like swim out. And once again, you're getting that deepening into your hip flexors. You're drawing your belly in. Breathing, breathing, breathing. 4, 3, 2, and then just rest onto that. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Now, if you want to stay here for a little longer, you can do little leg lifts. And as you come down, emphasize really pushing into the ball. 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Release. Next side, reach up. 2, 3, squeeze on the way down. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Place your hands by your chest. Take a deep breath in. Pull all the way up. Come into a child pose. Take your ball. Just a little wrist stretch. Hold there. Stretch your hips all the way back. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Two more breaths. And then come up. And like I said, that was only, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 minutes. I generally, the other day, I did that whole flow, and it came out to about 15, 20 minutes. So it's just depending upon how you guys want to, how long you want to stay on that and how tolerable it is. But it really opens up the hip and your lower back, and I highly suggest it. Have a good Friday night, and hopefully this will go off. I always have trouble